Welcome to Somewhere in October. I'm Alex, and today we are ranking these segments in VHS Halloween. So I've already done all the other installments, and then I'm going to rank all the VHS movies and do the segment tier list. This is going to have spoilers. I'll give you a brief review and then rank all the segments. Elephant in the room. This is going to be the first video you guys see of my bangs. I had a wig mishap. I'm still training my bangs. What I have to say is more important than how I look, so moving on. Overall, and I haven't really decided where I'm gonna rank it in all the installments, I liked VHS Halloween. I didn't love it. There's just not one segment that I'm totally crazy about, which is a little bit disappointing. I do like it. I think it has great Halloween vibes. It's definitely worth watching. There's definitely good things in it. It just didn't reach what I wanted. And I didn't really have expectations. I think it was just I wanted to have more fun with it than I did. I can't put my finger on why I didn't love it the way I wanted to, but that's okay. There's still some gems in here. It's still a good watch. All the other ones I watched twice, so maybe on a second watch I'll change my mind. That's just how I feel. You can let me know how you feel below, but let's get into the segments. So coming at number 6, or the last ranked, is Diet Phantasma. This is written and directed by Brian Ferguson. Whatever it is about VHS, they've come really close to the frame narrative with Total Copy, I think, and some of them have been pretty good, but they just aren't doing it for me, and I don't know how they can perfect it, because I do love a frame narrative. Maybe it doesn't need to be a story that goes from A to B. Maybe it actually needs to be little things, like Diet Phantasma. I really liked it when we were first introduced it. There were a couple times where we revisited it that it was a lot of fun. By the end of it, it just kind of lost steam. I see where the story was going, but it just didn't have that much of an impact on me. I think I would have preferred if they just played around with different flavors of this. Maybe it's all different testing of different products. That way, the frame narrative, you don't have to look at it as just a one plot story. We have multiple experiments in there. But basically, we have these people who have this drink called Phantasma, and they have Diet Phantasma. And they are testing subjects. They look like they're wearing prison uniforms. Are they in prison? Because there's children. It can't be. Maybe that's just the uniforms they wear to test. Either way, it's horrendous because of what happens to them. We go through different people trying these drinks and having very different effects. And I mean, like, people are dying, they're kind of possessed, they're melting, like, it is crazy. And it all ends up with a young girl being able to handle it, and she becomes possessed, I believe. But for me, they were just trying it to find the perfect person. It doesn't look like they were altering the ingredients to make it effective on everyone, so that's why I kind of lost it for me when we look at it from a A to B plot. But I think it was really cool when they were drinking the drink and things were happening. I just think it would have made more sense. Maybe it's like different flavors and they all have different crazy effects on people. You can see them like adding random things to the ingredients. Because they did talk about like toning it up and toning it down, but it sounded like they were doing that for the size and the person, not actually for like a different effect. So I don't know. It didn't win me over, but I think it was still really cool. Coming in number 5, I don't know if I can pronounce this one. Ute Supra Sig Infra? Guys, I can't pronounce this. Directed by Paco Plaza and written by Paco Plaza and Alberto Marini. So this one I liked. It just didn't have enough. Like, I wanted a little bit more from it. We open up with this like gruesome crime scene, and we find out that there is one survivor, and they are trying to figure out what happened. Like, they are like, you survived, you did this, we know you did this, or we know you know what happened. Help us understand. Kind of follow the recordings of the friends going to this abandoned place, crazy things happening, and then we repeat that with the investigative team. And then what happens is this guy that they are looking at, like, can you explain what happened? He kind of has, I would say, like, Stranger Things 11, like, you know, Star Wars powers. What's the word? You know, he's like levitating and throwing people. And then it ends really fascinating because he starts just like puking up all the eyeballs. Because when we revisit the people that died at the beginning, all their eyes were gone, and he is throwing up eyeballs, and then he takes everybody out. The issue with this one was it was just so quick. It was really cool how it looked, and the atmosphere and the energy that was around it and the mystery. It just was a big build-up. It just didn't last long enough. I want something a little bit more. Then coming in at number 4 is Kid Print. Kidprint is directed and written by Alex Ross Perry. In Kidprint, we are in this town where there's been a lot of disappearances of kids, and so what they do is they are bringing all these children to a video store, kind of technology store, I'm not quite sure, and they're taking their pictures. It's kind of like an ID to help if anybody goes missing. So there's already something spooky going on. It feels like you are at a place where they're trying to help, they're trying to do a good thing. During this build up, they're asking people what they like about Halloween, so there was a Halloween feel to it. At a Halloween gathering, they realize there's a kid missing, so they go back to this video store to use what was being recorded for what it was meant to be for. It was meant to review and see what happened or try to identify them or whatever. There's a twist which I really liked, is that one of the workers there has been using this for evil, and when they go back, there is videos of people getting tortured, crying. It is a bloodbath. It is very crime. It is scary. We see the pursuit of trying to rescue people. We see them hidden. We see gore. We see wrongful accusations where people don't understand what's going on because everything is so hectic and they think everything is connected. And the guy who was actually doing this, I think his name was Bruce, he was using this for evil and doing all this. He gets out scot-free because when they're doing the interview, he shows up. I can't believe he's done this. I can't believe it. And you are just like, that is sick and twisted. I definitely like the concept of this one. It definitely was freaky. It just wasn't one of my favorites, but I think it was really well done. It was just a little underwhelming for me, and I can't quite tell you why. I'm not sure. Coming in at number 3 is Coochie Coo. Sorry, it's Coochie Coochie Coo. Directed and written by Anna Zlokovich? I don't know how to say that. This one, and one we're going to talk about later, I think that was one of the issues I had with this, was they were so close connected in build-up, even though what happens is really different. It felt a little bit repetitive. And that's the thing with Halloween, like, you can go so many places with it that, I don't know, I'm just not sure I liked what was chosen. But anyway, Coochie Coochie Coo. There's a group of kids, teenagers, young adults. They're going off to college. One thing I do like, even if it's repeated, is I do like that we have these college-age kids talking about, this is going to be the last time we're like this. We don't get to trick or treat. What is Halloween besides partying anymore? And so they decide to go trick-or-treating. And so we are following them. And at the beginning, they do tell a story about a cheerleader who went missing, or she was dressed up as a cheerleader on Halloween, went missing, and this evil villain named Mom. And so I kind of knew that was going to come back around. Finally, they go to this house. And they knock on the door, nobody shows up, so they go to leave, and then this hand comes out waving, I have treats, and a little giggle, and you're like, oh my god. And so they go in, and the door disappears. They are trapped. And then what we see is just crazy. There's like a rotten baby shower thing, like everything is run down and abandoned and dead, like there's maggots in the cake, and they see this big baby man thing. I don't know, it's so scary. And this mom, she has all these breasts going on, like she's very creepy looking. And they eventually find the cheerleader, and it's like she's abducting people and turning them into her babies, but they're still adults, like they're still grown people, and they have almost like an alien looking way to them. It's just really freaky. It looks like it was all a trap because she has like a banner that says, "This party was for you, for these two friends." It basically ends with her like singing a song, and it's a kind of like a trance state it puts you in, and they just succumb to it. They're like, oh, you're mom now. It's really creepy. The atmosphere is good. How it's shot is excellent. I really liked it. It's just very comparable to one later, so it's a little bit lower for me because I prefer that one. And by later, I mean right now. So my second favorite, my number 2 and number 1 go back and forth, so on a second watch I may change my mind, but right now the second place one is Fun Size. So this is written and directed by Casper Kelly. You've probably seen some of the icons from this one, which I actually think is really cool. But again, we have people that are way too old to trick or treat by society standards, but they go anyway. And you know what? More power to them, okay? I want to knock on your door, I want to open a bag and say trick or treat, and I want a candy bar. But they go to this house and they have a basket that's of course like, just take one. We all know how that goes. And the reason I say this is repetitive is because we have another group of young adults who are too old to trick or treat, and they go and they find a house and they get in trouble. But what happens after is very, very different, so I'll forgive it, kind of. They're looking at the candy and it doesn't really make sense. It's off-brand, it doesn't come up on Google, which I do like that they incorporated that. They had their phones and search and was like, it's not coming up. and they open up one and it looks phallic, like, it's so strange. It's giving the Wicker Man bakery. That's one thing about this, it has so many, like, sexual innuendos, like, weird things. Anyway, and he goes to grab another one or look around at least, and he gets sucked in the bowl. Like, we see him sucked in, like the blob style, train spotting style, just sucked down to that bowl. And then he's in this house with these icons. And you go down and it doesn't look like a candy factory, like there's not a bunch of stuff, but there's enough that we start understanding what's happening. One of the guys gets put through, chopped up in pieces, and turned into candy. They're basically given, like, it's kind of like an escape room, like a test, like, oh, if you want to get out, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. One girl, I love this part. They throw, like, candy on the floor and she slips and they take her and they put this, like, tube into her head of, like, I don't know what the candy is, what's an equivalent that I can say right now, like, maybe, like, Skittles? And they're putting it into the back of her head and it just bursts out of her. So they're basically taking people and transforming them into candy. And we also have this, like, story intertwine where this girl was supposed to tell her now fiance something, I guess that she doesn't want to be with him or she cheated. They're engaged and it ends with them on a conveyor belt because they can't get out because it says, like, if you wanted to exit, you were only supposed to take one. And the guy is like, we are the ones that took multiple. But it doesn't matter. They're on a conveyor belt as they try to get out, and he's like saying vows, like, if we're gonna die, just say I do. And the girl's like, I don't. And just lets him go. Like, girl, he's gonna die, just lie. At this point, I'm just having so much fun with it. She gets out, but then it comes and grabs her, and then it starts over. There's, like, kids. Oh, what kind of candy is this? I mean, you kind of see it repeat or start to repeat. I thought this was so fun. I love the idea of turning people into candy and making it so playful, but so dark. I don't know if we needed the whole, I don't want to marry you thing. I mean, I get it for plot. I think with this one, I loved it so much that I wanted a lot more. I wanted to see more of those icons. Like, I think because this one was really similar to the other one with the coochie coochie coo, what they could have done in this one, instead of having just like a small group of people and having to give backstory, like we were alluding to at the end, just have a bunch of people coming up on Halloween night and every single kid who takes two, take them and do something. I just wanted more. It's a fun concept. What I saw, I loved. Give me more. And that's why this one is my number one, I think, because it gave me more. It gave me everything I could have ever wanted. And so my number one is Home Hunt. It's written and directed by Michelle Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman. There's this man who loves Halloween. He loves doing this big haunted house thing. And we see a tape of him with his kid, and his kid is so excited. But now his kid is grown, and he's like, I don't want to go. He goes. Unfortunately, it's like you force your kid to do something, and this is what happens. And so they're at the store, and they're picking up things they need, and Keith finds this, like, record. This is giving very Evil Dead because he plays his record in this haunted house, and that sets off something. And I know this is what you would expect out of a Halloween short in a Halloween VHS, but I like that. It is a haunted house come to life, and when I say come to life, it is chaos. There's sheet ghosts draping over people and just imploding them, exploding them. I don't know what the word is. And it is just madness. It is craziness, and I love it so much. There was so much going on. Nobody was safe. There was excellent effects. I love this one. This is one that I would definitely just, like, sit down and watch again. Like, I think I will rewatch just for that one in fun size. But these were two that I actually got really excited about, so it's definitely worth a watch. I don't want to discourage you by my first review. It's just that I didn't love it as much as the other ones. I didn't love it overall, but the ones I loved, I had so much fun with. So let me know what you think. I'm going to rank all of them, and I will do my segments tier. I'll explain how that's going to be different because it's going to be very different, because in my lower rated ones are my favorite segments, so that's why you should watch them all. Okay, see you in the next one.